Do we say I'm riding in the bus, or do we say I'm riding on the bus? Check out this video for some rules and helpful tips that will help you master prepositions. Hi everyone, I'm Steve and this is Single Step English. I want to thank my viewer Sayani for her many wonderful questions in the comment section below. In fact, she has suggested that I make this video on prepositions. So I decided to make it. Thank you, Sayani. And remember guys, I'm here for you. If you have any questions at all, please ask about them in the comment section. Okay, prepositions. These are really difficult for students studying English. And even for native speakers, sometimes we wonder about the rules and which word is the proper one to use for prepositions. So it's not just you. These are difficult for everyone. But today, I'm going to show you some rules and some tips that I think will really help you. One of the most difficult problems with prepositions are these two words, in and on. And we use these when we are talking about specific transportation. Here is a simple rule to follow. If you sit inside the vehicle, we use the preposition in. For example, you would say in a car, or in a taxi, or in a helicopter. In all of these vehicles, car, taxi, helicopter, you cannot stand up. You have to sit. So we use the word in. If you want to try to remember this rule, just say to yourself, sit in. Sit in. If you can stand or walk on a vehicle, we use the word on. The preposition is on. For example, you would get on a bus, get on a subway, get on a ship. Okay, these are all vehicles, transport that you can walk on. You can sit on a subway, but you also can stand. Therefore, you get on. Same for a bus. You get on the bus. Although you get on a ship, which is very large, if the boat is small and you cannot stand, you would say you get in the boat. Okay, the boat is very small. Get in the boat. Or in this case, get in the canoe. Other examples when we would use the preposition on, we say get on an airplane because you walk on the airplane and then sit down. You could say get on a train, same as subway, right? You get on a train. And you could say get on a cable car. And you could say get on a ferry. This is a larger boat, right? So even when these vehicles are moving, you can stand up. Therefore, we use on. And that is the rule. One way you can remember this, you can say walk on. Okay? If you can walk on the vehicle, the airplane, the ferry boat, the cable car, okay? If you can walk on the train, use the preposition on. So we have two rules, right? Sit in and walk on. Just remember those two. Finally, if we sit or stand on top of the vehicle, we use the preposition on. Let me give you some examples. You would sit or ride on a motorcycle. The same for a bicycle. You ride on a bicycle. You ride on a skateboard. You might be on skis, on a snowboard, ride on a surfboard. In all of these examples, the person is sitting or standing on top. So we use the preposition on. Now, let's look at some common uses for prepositions. And remember, you can use the timestamps in this video if you want to go ahead and look at a specific preposition. At the end of the video, I also included a few common mistakes that people make with prepositions. When you want a preposition for one point in time, use the prepositions in, at, or on. Use in for parts of the day. For example, in the evening. And we also use it for months, years, and seasons. Here are some examples. She studies in the morning. This is part of the day, in the morning. The weather is hot in August. August is a month, so we say in August. He was born in 1998. The year is 1998, so we use the preposition in. I like to ski in winter. The season is winter, so we use the preposition in. The next preposition is the word at. And we use the word at when we want to talk about the time of day. Also, we use at for noon, night, and midnight, 12 o'clock. Here are some examples using at. I go to school at 7:45. We use at because it is a specific time of the day or night. At 7:45. Another example, I have a class today at 10:50. Okay, here's another use of at. They eat lunch at noon. He often walks his dog at night. She usually goes to bed at midnight. Remember the rule. At is for a specific time, and also for noon, night, and midnight. Our next preposition is the word on, and we use on with days of the week. Here are some examples. I work part-time on Saturdays. She has dance practice on Wednesdays. In both of these sentences, the person does this activity every week. It is a habit or a routine. Okay, so we use the preposition on. If the activity only occurs one time, you can use this sentence. She has dance practice this Wednesday. So here we replaced on Wednesday to this Wednesday. It's only one time. So there's a little bit of a difference there. If she does it every week, we would say on Wednesdays. But if it's only one time, it's this Wednesday. To refer to a direction, use these prepositions. To, in, into, on, onto. Let's look at these examples. She drove to the store. Don't ring the doorbell. Come right in the house. Or come right into the house. Drive onto the grass and park the car there. When you want to talk about a place, you can use the prepositions in, at, or on. Let me try to explain with these examples. Let's meet in the school cafeteria. The school cafeteria is the place where we will meet, so we use in. I'll wait for you at the corner of First Street and Main Street. Here, the corner is the general area. However, you might also hear native speakers say on the corner as well. Okay, on to our next example. He forgot his homework on his desk. He forgot his homework on his desk. The desk has a surface on top, and that is the place where he forgot his homework, on his desk. To talk about an object that is higher than a point, use the prepositions over and above. Let's check out these examples. The birds flew over the trees. The airplane flew above the clouds. In both of these sentences, the position was higher than a point. For example, the trees or the clouds. To refer to an object that is lower than a point, use these prepositions: below, beneath, under, and underneath. Let's check these examples. The subway is below the street. There is a secret door beneath the floor. I found my keys under a pile of papers. The dog is hiding underneath the sofa. When you want to talk about an object that is close by, use these prepositions: near, next to, between, and opposite. Let's look at a few examples. The gas station is by the supermarket. This means both the gas station and supermarket are very close to each other. You could also say the gas station is near the supermarket. You can park your car next to the house. Here, next to means on the side of. You could also say on the side of the house. Okay, let's move on to the next preposition, which is between. She is standing between her parents. The arrows are in opposite directions. So opposite means the other way. So they are standing in opposite directions. When we want to talk about prepositions of location, we use these three: in, at, and on. Here are some examples. She lives in the countryside. The countryside is an area. You could also say, I live in the city. The teacher is usually at the library after class. There is dirt on the floor. And here, floor is a surface, on the floor. Okay, in this last section, I'm going to share some confusing prepositions. And a couple of these are above and over. So what is the preposition you would use in this situation? I put a sweater, my shirt. Okay? Once more, I put a sweater, my shirt. What do you think is the preposition? Is it above or over? Well, the answer is over. I put a sweater over my shirt. When we use temperature and height, we use the word above. Let me give you some examples. The temperature is above 35 degrees today. You must be above 112 centimeters to go on this ride. So here, your height must be above 112 centimeters. This is a sign you will often see at amusement parks. You cannot go on this ride unless your height is above 112 centimeters. In measurements of ages and speed, we use the word over. To see this movie, you must be over 18 years old. Your age must be over 18 to see this movie. Another example is this: don't drive over the speed limit. In this lesson, you learned some helpful rules and useful tips for using prepositions. I know they can be challenging, but remember, practice makes perfect. If you have any questions at all, please write them in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.